It's 9 p.m. and you're standing in front of the fridge again. Not really hungry, just checking. Breakfast, a snack, lunch, another snack, dinner, and now this. You've counted the calories, you've swapped the sugar for protein, and you still feel foggy, bloated, tired in a way that doesn't match how carefully you're eating. Like your body quietly stopped listening to you. Here's the strange part. It isn't broken. It just lost something your ancestors never lost. In a moment, you'll see the exact rhythm their bodies ran on, one still wired into yours right now, just sitting idle. But by the end, you'll understand why the real fix was never about which food to cut. It's about a single missing gap your modern day quietly deleted, one plate at a time. To understand why that gap matters, go back to a time before snacks existed at all. Your ancestors did not have snacks. There was no drawer of granola bars, no coffee cart, no fridge humming 24 hours a day. For most of human history, food arrived in waves. A kill, a harvest, a good run of berries, followed by long stretches of nothing. Their bodies were not designed around steady input. They were designed around a cycle. Eat heavily, then wait. That waiting was not punishment. It was information. It told their cells when to burn fuel, when to repair, when to store. You inherited that same wiring. The question is whether you ever let it switch on. Here is the part that surprises people. Anthropologists studying foraging societies today, groups whose lifestyles echo ancient patterns, consistently find long, natural gaps between meals, not from discipline, but from circumstance. Food simply wasn't always there. Your body evolved inside those gaps. It learned to run on stored fat for hours, sometimes days, switching fuel sources the way a car shifts gears. That switching mechanism is still inside you right now. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's just been sitting idle, because modern life removed the one condition it needs to activate: actual emptiness between meals. Now think about your average day. Coffee with cream at 7, a snack at 10, lunch at noon, something small at 3, dinner at 7, a little more before bed. None of that is reckless. It might even be healthy food. But notice what's missing. There is no gap. Your body never fully finishes processing one meal before the next one arrives. It's less like eating and more like a factory line that never shuts down for maintenance. And a machine that never powers down doesn't get to repair itself. That's not a flaw in you. That's just physics applied to biology. This is where the confusion so many people feel starts to make sense. You track calories. You choose better ingredients. You still feel foggy, inflamed, stuck. The usual explanation is that you're doing something wrong with what you eat. But your ancestors suggest a different possibility, that the missing variable was never the plate, it was the pause. Feast, then true rest. Not restriction as punishment, but rhythm as biology. Your ancestors weren't healthier because they ate more virtuously. They were healthier because their bodies were regularly allowed to stop working on food and start working on themselves. So here's a real question worth sitting with, maybe even worth answering in the comments. When was the last time your body went, say, 12 hours without any food at all? Not a diet, just a gap. For most people today, the honest answer is, not recently. And if that's true for you too, it's not a personal failure. It's a structural one. The modern food environment made grazing the default. Your ancestors never faced that particular design problem because scarcity did the work for them, but scarcity wasn't gentle, and this isn't a case for going hungry on purpose out of nostalgia. What matters is the underlying mechanism your ancestors lived by without ever naming it. Metabolic flexibility. The ability to shift smoothly between burning what you just ate and burning what you've stored. That ability doesn't come from any single food, it comes from use. Muscles that never rest get weaker, not stronger. The same appears to be true for the systems that manage your fuel. Constant grazing doesn't overload them with bad food, It simply never asks them to prove they still work. Here's where it gets genuinely interesting. Researchers studying fasting physiology have found that the body doesn't just pause during a real gap in eating. It starts a distinct set of processes: cellular cleanup, fat mobilization, shifts in inflammation markers. None of that requires extremes. It requires absence, real, uninterrupted absence, long enough for your body to register that no more food is coming right now. Your ancestors got that absence by default, built into the unpredictability of their world. You have to get it by choice, built into the predictability of yours. And this reframes the whole picture. If your body isn't broken and the food itself isn't the sole villain, then the fix stops being another restriction, another rule, another food to fear. It becomes something almost boring: timing. Letting there be a real end to eating and a real beginning again later. Your ancestors weren't heroically disciplined. They were simply living inside a rhythm that modern convenience quietly erased. One plate, one snack, one just a little more at a time. So the next time you feel like you're doing everything right and still not getting the results you expect, consider asking a different question than, "What should I cut out?" Ask instead, "When did I last let my body actually stop?" Your ancestors' bodies moved between feast and pause their entire lives, and that rhythm, not any single ingredient, may be the piece modern eating quietly deleted. The food matters. It always will. But maybe, for the first time, consider that the silence between meals was never empty. It was doing the actual work. Tell me in the comments, what does your own rhythm between meals actually look like right now?